If you have not liked and subscribed the channel, please like and subscribe the channel. This is the place where you can learn Microsoft Intune. Today in this video I am going to share you how you can encrypt email on iOS managed, MDM managed and unmanaged device. So some of the person has asked me on my YouTube comment, so I thought I would make video on this one, because I also feel this is very useful for if you're working in as a MDM consultant or for any organization. So first understand why you want to encrypt the email in your Outlook client application or your native iOS application or any Android. Specifically, maybe most of the, if you are using Intune, I'm assuming that you will be using Outlook mobile application for both on iOS and Android. But I will also show if you are using for native iOS applications, which will be the less population if you are using. So I will show you quickly on this. So the encryption, as you know, everyone wants to secure the data. So secure data so that the data cannot be easily decrypted or can be hacked by someone else, right? So first understand. So this is the article actually we have found in Microsoft article, Microsoft website. So you see the email encryption. If you want to encrypt the email, then you need certificates, right? Because it's extra layer of encryption you are doing, right? You can also sign that this email is valid and signed by your organization, and it will also encrypt so that if someone will like a hacker will try to track your email or decrypt the email, it will not easily get decrypted. And so for this if you want to encrypt and sign the email, then you have to deploy the certificates, right? I will go into detail. First understand this one. I will not read all these the article, otherwise you will be saying that you will just reading and referring if it's already available on the Microsoft site, right? So I'm just going and I will quickly just read. So you see, email certificate is also known for SMIME certificate, right? It will provide the extra security to your email communication by using encryption and decryption. Microsoft Intune can use SMIME certificate to sign and encrypt email to mobile devices running on these platforms. So we'll talk about in this video on iOS, and same you can apply for Android as well, and you can also do for Mac, right? But I will be talking on iOS because majorly you will be looking on iOS and Android. Intune can automatically deliver SMI encryption certificate to all platforms, right? So SMIM certificates are automatically associated with email profile that use native email client and Outlook, right? On Android devices, right? So to deploy that or to push this SMIMA certificate, you need to have a certificate authority and SCEP server or PKCS, or you can use the third-party CA server as well. I have already made video what is the required to build the CA server, how to deploy the SCEP server. You can always go to search on my YouTube channel Alien Tech Champion, and you see the MS218 how to push the MS certificate profile for mobile devices. This is the pre-requirement. If you want to encrypt the email, first you need a CA server, and I assume this is the one of the most difficult. Not difficult if you are expert, but if you are not expert, this will be very difficult to build the CA server and deploy the SCEP profile and test and everything, because this will require the extra layer, extra knowledge on this one. So I have already made video how to push and how to build, how to integrate the DG cert if you are using third party. You don't want to build in-house CA server, and if you want to understand the third party CA integration as well, you can, with the diagram and flow, you can use that. This is how you can integrate your third party integration using SCEP, or you can create, or you can build the CA server and create and publish the certificates to encrypt your email. Let's go to the article. So you can go to 76, 77 and 781. So all three videos are available. I have made video. It was very difficult to understand, but I have actually as much information I try to give in that information. And then once those information will be there, you see here, this is so what you have to do to signing certificates, right? This is for the signing certificate, right? If you want to sign your email, right, that this is the trusted email, and then you have to build like certificate connector, trusted root, and PKCS. All these details I have already spoken in my previous video. You can always go and refer this one. Right, then let's go. And then what you have to do, once you deploy that SCEP profile and or PKCS root certificate, everything to your devices through Intune, right? And then you have to create the profile. First we'll talk about on iOS native, and then we'll talk about Outlook. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to go to the Intune portal. This is Intune portal, and go to iOS, and here you have to go to the configurations, click new policies, right, and select the template. So first what you have to do, you have to deploy this SCEP certificate, right? You need the third party SCEP server, or you have own server, and the root certificates, right, to prior deploying the email profile for signing and encryption the email, right? So these two profile you need from your CA server, right? You can refer the email, and the third, you have email profile. Great. And then I want to give anything like simple iOS encrypt email, okay, on iOS native client. Okay, so what I am going to do, I'm just encrypting the email on iOS native email client. So the profile type is email. Next, and you have to give all those information right here. That if it's a star, you have to give all those information, because you already know, I hope you already know, you can give any email, right? Called a name. I don't want to go into more detail here, right? You already know everything. Authentication method, certificates if you want to use, or just username and password, whatever you want to prefer. Let's go to auth enable. Let's go to Exchange Active Sync email setting. So you see SMIMI. So what you currently by default is disable. You have to enable this SMIME, and then as soon as you enable, you see SMI signing is enabled. You can enable the signing, or if you want to disable it, allow you to change the setting for signing. Yeah, I want to do it, right? Signing certificate type, right? As I mentioned, you have the certificate, so you have to select the certificates, and you need the certificates as well, right? And you'll get from your CA server. Or if you want to just none, but better to use the certificates, right? Or you can select the derived credentials as well. Allow user to change. Encrypt, you see the encrypt by default, right? So what is this? So select whether or not all messages are encrypted by default. If you select enable, your all email will be encrypted. This is where you can turn on this enable, and you need that, you have to enable this SMIME and use the certificates for secure transaction of the email. So you see encryption certificate type as well. So all these settings you can check it, right? This is the most important, right? Click on next and you can apply this profile to create. This is how you create a email profile and you can deploy to your devices. If you go back here and you see what are the options we have enabled and disabled. So encryption by default is enabled. We have enabled the SAMI, and this will apply to your iOS native email application, and it will be fully managed devices. Now let's go to Outlook application, whether it's managed or unmanaged devices. So for Outlook application, you have to go to the app badge and go to the app protection policy. Before that, you have to deploy the Outlook applications as a managed application or managed devices, right? So what you have to do, if you search here, I have already iOS stored applications. Similarly, you can do for the Android applications. So first you have to publish this Outlook application, right? And then go to application and app protection policy, app configurations policy, and here you can create a for managed devices. You have to select the managed devices. If you use unmanaged devices, you can select managed app, right? This is ideally its work, right? So let's go first managed devices, and I will say give name something encrypt iOS, encrypt email on iOS, Outlook mobile managed device. You can give any short name, and you have to select iOS, and then you have to target the application Outlook, and then click on next, and then here you have to select the configuration designer. So what you have to do, you can configure all these settings, right, which you already know, right? And then then you go to SMIME. So here must read this: after this policy is created, the format cannot be changed, and this secure multi-purpose internet mail extension, which is the full form of SMIME, is a specification that allow user to send and receive digitally signed and encrypted email. So what you have to do, if it say it's all grayed out, it's because if it's not configured. If you select yes or no, right? If you select no, then you won't be able to encrypt. So it has to be enabled yes, and they see all those settings got enabled. You want to change, you want to allow users to change the setting. I don't want to, so I will select no. I want to encrypt all email, yes, I want to encrypt all email. And you want to change no. Sign all email, no, I don't want to sign all the email. Let them change the setting, user. And deploy the SMI certificate from the Intune. You see, specify whether or not SMI certificate will be delivered from Intune for use with Outlook. Intune can automatically deploy signing and certificate to users through the company portal. So you want to deploy it through, then you have to upload the certificate as I mentioned here, right, through here. Or Intune can, if you select no and you're deploying through another configurations profile, then it's fine. Through the company portal it will get deployed. So depend on the choice, you can select it. You can also add it if you're not deploying separately, but I would prefer to deploy the certificates through the different profile, right? That will be useful for if you are using that SCEP profile for Wi-Fi authentication and VPN on any other. So this is how you can encrypt the email. But yeah, this is the most important. You have to need the certificate and enable and apply. Click next, create, and this is done. So this policy will get applied to your iOS managed devices. let's go to the managed application and select encrypt iOS email on unmanaged device. Okay, I'm just giving a name. Select all Microsoft application, core Microsoft application, whatever. I'm just selecting core. You can see all those core applications. I've already, you can see the list. Outlook is there here. Yeah, so I'm just selecting because it's a managed application. And then here you select here the setting catalogs and click on encrypt, right? Mail. So where is it? This is this soap picker. I don't like it so much because template is actually is good, but let's ENCR. Native messaging, extension default cast. Something is not showing here. I don't know. Let's extend this one. There's so many options are available here, but here this is so if you click on next without doing anything there, you go to next and then you see SMIME, similar like secure multipurpose is just allowed to receive, and you have to select yes and encrypt all email here, right? And then you put the, if you want to sign email all, and then put the LW URL as well. So, and you can rest of the configuration you can configure it here as well, right? This is the general configuration, and general configurations are also available here. This is how you encrypt all email on unmanaged devices, right? You need to assign this policy to a group, okay, and just apply this. This is the app configuration profile for the managed application, which will be the mostly for the BYOD unmanaged devices, and this will we have created for the managed devices. Both are policy for managed and unmanaged, but make sure it is not easy as I am showing here, because you need to test it in your UAT instance and you have to deploy this certificate server and SMI. So you see here, as I mentioned, if you enable this SMI, it will sign and encrypt the email on iOS native email application, right? And this email certificates will provide the extra security to your email communication by signing, encrypting, and decrypting. So when you use this SMIME with an email, you confirm the authenticity of the sender and integrity of the confidentiality of the message. So I will show you the end user interface, how it will look once it will get deployed to your devices. For both, I have already shown in native and Outlook application. This is how you can enable, right? SMI must be enabled in the Outlook and Android application when you create. So end user will need to enable the SMIM functionality manually by accessing their account settings, tapping on the security, and which is off by default. The Outlook and SMI security setting looks like this. So if you go to your email account and you have to turn on this SMIME, and then when you enable this SMIA setting, will Android and iOS will automatically will secure your email, and this is and after encryption will get enabled, it will very difficult or complex to as a conversation, like, right, if it's grow. So make sure this is app level setting, and this change will affect all the account added in the application, right? So this is you can see here, right? Once you enable, you see the certificates here, right? You can also see the certificates and all. I'm just showing it here. And you see how you can see and view the message if it's a encrypted email. You see this is signed email and this is encrypted email, right? It's normally like any financial result or anything for the company, it's secure. If you want to read the encrypted email, the recipient private key must be available on the devices, right? Otherwise you won't be able to read it. So if it's just a signed email, you will see like with a green true mark, and if it's encrypted, you will see, and if you see if it's both signed and encrypted, it's look like this one. So you see signed email, install, right? This is how you can, it will verify the users. It's encrypted, can't verify the signature. And you can also sign it, encrypt it, and sign and encrypt. You will get 3 options there, right? And similar like on Android as well. And this is how it will looks like on your end user devices. And this is very good security features, which if you want to use that, go for it. But the only I see is you need a CA server or third-party CA server to deliver the certificates if you want to sign your application, because building a SCEP server in your in-house is actually, it's quite difficult, right? It's not much difficult, but yeah, you have to use that, right? I hope you learn how you deploy the certificates and how you encrypt your email. And don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Till then, thank you, have a good day, bye bye.